Hello there everybody, it's Joe here. Yeah, this is a sight that I'm getting pretty tired of seeing in Season 2, but we're seeing it more often than not. The failed upgrade. So, no overly hyped, excited intro today, just... yeah. Anyway, welcome back to my F1 25 My Team Career mode. We are now heading into the middle of the season. We're at Austria again, and this time we're driving the circuit forwards as intended. This is the Austrian Grand Prix. If you haven't seen the last one, when we did do this circuit backwards, do be sure to check that one out before you see this one. Nothing really went our way, did it? It was just a race to forget. No points for either driver. Let's move on to this one. And this time we are racing as Kimi Antonelli. And we're in Q1, trying to push our way through without the upgrades that I was really hoping to have on the car. And as such, we have really gone down in the performance index. And that is why we are really starting to struggle for pace. And as we cross the line, P8 in Q1, which becomes P12, it's just not there. It's just not good enough, you know. We need more if we're going to fight the top 10. We need these upgrades to stop failing. Q2 then, what can we do here? The lap is feeling pretty good. I'm pushing as hard as I can, clipping apexes pretty nicely as we head round the back of the circuit. And now to the last two corners. First right-hander, clip that nicely. Now we've got the second, gone a bit deep. What's the time going to be? It's P7. It's P7, so that's okay for now. That gets us through into through Q2. But when it came to Q3, we weren't able to really go any quicker, and it's going to be P10. So we're starting 10th for this Austrian Grand Prix.
Welcome from the beautiful Styrian Mountains for another chapter in the story of the Austrian Grand Prix. It's time to see how our drivers are stacking up after yesterday's exciting qualifying session. Lando Norris will lead us away from pole position, and starting next to them is George Russell. As we continue through the rest of the grid today, we have Verstappen, Senna, Charles Leclerc and Tsunoda, Stroll, Fernando Alonso, Sainz and Andrea Kimi Antonelli, Gasly, Hakkinen, Alex Albon, Doohan, Piastri, Hadjar, Franco Colapinto and Gabriel Bortoleto, Hulkenberg, Aaron, Lawson and Ollie Behrman rounds off the grid. It's almost time for those 5 red lights to go out then. Let's see who can prevail today.
It's a wet day in these Styrian hills, but what can we do over the course of the next 36 laps? We are underway and it's an okay-ish start that we have made. But look at Sainz and Alonso, they've also got away well. I'm trying to find room up the inside. And we're going to nearly clip into Lance Stroll. And we're currently in P9, make that P10. As we have dropped a position to Fernando Alonso. As we head up the hill for the first time. And look at that, we've got a Williams going for it on my left. I'm trying to go to the inside. Who's that Alpine that's just sent it? That is Gasly and Albon getting round the outside there. And that drops us into P12. But what a move there by Pierre Gasly. Really sending that one. As we now drop to 12th. And I'm going to try and chase after him. Albon has moved up to 10th. Round the outside of the pair of us. So that's a position lost there as well. And we've now got Mika Hakkinen forcefully getting past us, as well as Oscar Piastri. McLaren's playing follow the leader as they pass us. We're now down to P14. It's an atrocious start in these equally atrocious conditions. Meanwhile, we're watching Max Verstappen hunting down George Russell for P2, and he's going to go to the outside of the British driver, and Verstappen making it work round the outside. He'll have a good run down the straight now, and Verstappen still side by side with Russell and edging ahead. Max Verstappen moving into P2. That's a good move there by the Red Bull. And we're just settling in P14, just getting settled into this race and trying to find a bit of momentum. It's difficult conditions to keep the car on the road, and Jack Doohan is making things even more difficult by having a look up the inside. Thankfully, we're holding him off for now.
Okay, so gap to
Lap 5 out of 36, and we're still holding off Jack Doohan, who is about half a second behind us. The cars in front are pulling away, and we're just a little bit stuck in our position for now. I'm hoping that the rain starts to ease soon, because these are tough conditions. But there looks to be no easement in the weather for now, as Jack Doohan's still staying within a second. We've got a yellow flag ahead. Not sure what that's for. We're going to find out real soon though as we head round the hairpin. Lap 8 now. It's Charles Leclerc who's out of the session. And we have a red flag. So that's going to give us an opportunity. We might be able to gain a position or two on the restart there. For now, staying on full wet tyres, but we get a brand new set, and that is the weather for the race then. There is no sign of it drying up, even if we get later in the race. It is full wet rain for the entire race, so a miserable day in Austria, but we're now underway once again and getting a very nice launch this time, trying to look to the left of Stroll. No way through there, but now Stroll moves over to the right, and it gives us the outside access. I've run deep though, and Stroll getting past. We're into P13. Gasly and Stroll are racing each other. Hadjar's trying to find a way through in the Haas. And as we now head towards turn 3, can we just nudge our way ahead here? Get better run? No is the answer. Well, we're ahead of Gasly, but not ahead of Stroll. Stroll maintains P11 at this stage as we get underway for the second time here. It's lap 10 of 36. Gasly trying to send it up the inside, but we've covered Gasly off pretty nicely there. So Gasly not a threat at this stage. And as we're now on to lap 16, there's another yellow flag ahead just while I'm doing my own race. That is Alex Albon. No, it's Carlos Sainz. It's Carlos Sainz, and we are under a second red flag for that. So I'm assuming that it just goes to red as soon as someone retires in the wet. I mean, that's no objection to me. I'm quite happy to take another red and just regroup, and now we've got tyres to go to the end of the race. There's no worries about having that dreaded pit stop glitch. You know, the one where it holds us for an absolute eternity. Anyway, start number 3, and we are underway once again, looking to overtake Stroll early on. Albon goes to cover round the inside, sorry. Can we go round the outside of them? We're being forced wide by the McLaren of Piastri. Albon gets past us, but Stroll we've kept the position on, and he's now been overtaken by Doohan, who's having a look at us. Doohan getting past, but again a bit of late braking into 3. Can we see off Alex Albon? Albon turns into us there, but I have kept the position, and I'm now into P9. Albon turning into me. I mean, I don't think he would have expected me to be there, but he turned into us. Now we're up into P9, and if we can keep this position, we're looking good for 2 championship points, which I would happily accept, given that our pace isn't fantastic in these conditions, and just isn't fantastic anyway, owing to the fact that our upgrades keep failing and we're falling down the performance index. But this is now Ayrton Senna in the Ferrari, taking a dive to the outside of Tsunoda. Senna was always a bit of a wet weather masterclass, and he's proving himself here again by moving into P4. Ayrton Senna in the Ferrari taking 4th place. And now we're starting to stretch away from Doohan, but at the same time maintaining about 2 seconds to the cars in front. So we're doing all right at this stage, but I feel like we are just going to fall back. We're not going to be able to keep up with the guys in front, but if we can just keep Doohan at arm's length and hold on to P9 again, it's points. I'll happily take that. And the circuit does look like it's drying a bit, and I did contemplate at this stage maybe considering intermediates, but if we'd have got that wrong, A, we'd have been a full pit stop behind and had to work our way forwards anyway, and B, I'm not entirely sure the track was ready, but I did consider it. We've got a bit deep there, and Doohan has seen a way through. He's gone into us and taken a piece of his front wing, but Doohan has managed to completely overtake and is now up into P9. Lance Stroll on my left giving me a ram as he's trying to get through. There really was no gap there for Lance, so I don't know why he tried to take that one. And Colapinto is now fighting Stroll. Can we get 2 cars in the points? Especially if we can get back past Doohan. And if we can get 2 cars in the points, that'd be a monumentally good day for us. However, it does seem Colapinto's now up into P11, so he does need to catch up with us if he is going to get through and get past Doohan as well. We're going to have a look at Doohan at turn 3. It's lap 26. Are we going to make it through? No! Doohan just staying ahead for now, but we have a lot more momentum out of the final corners and out of turn 1. And this is Colapinto having a go, cutting that off straight away. Come on, teammate. If we work together, we might get both cars in the points. Lap 29 now. I'm starting to get impatient behind Jack Doohan. And we've got a big lunge coming here. And we make that work. We did run Doohan a bit wide there, but we made that work. Moved up into P9. Can Colapinto find his way through as Doohan tries a little send up the inside? I'm going to block him off if I can. And we are indeed back ahead. Come on, Franco. Get P10. Let's get a double points finish. Meanwhile, we're now watching Paul Aron in 17th place going after Nico Hülkenberg. He's been anonymous all season, but he's having a good go at one of the Saubers right now, alongside Hülkenberg, side by side, and through he goes, up into P16, making a good move, and one of very few moves that I've seen in these conditions from the AI. Lando Norris then is your race winner here in Austria. A beautifully driven race, and we're just holding on to P9, and in the end, Colapinto unable to make anything from Jack Doohan, which is a crying shame. But as we head round the left-handers, it's looking good for us, isn't it? We're looking at grabbing a couple of points here out of the left-handers. Down the little straight we go, and then we've got the 2 rights, and we will be at the end. And I don't think Doohan can catch us from there. It's going to be 2 World Championship points. I'll take it. Bit of a disappointing result, but I'll still take it. It's a couple more points. Let's go.
All right, race over. Take care of the car on the way in.
Here's the checkered flag, and our winner has landed. It's Lando Norris for victory.
I mean, it looked like they were in a different category at points during the race, led every lap. I mean, what more can we say?
And once all the hard work is over, and after lap of brilliant racing, it's time now to celebrate with our podium trio. He holds the trophy aloft, and why shouldn't he? A richly deserved win today for Lando Norris. Well, what an end to another fantastic weekend of racing. Thanks to everyone who joined us, and we'll see you for the next one.
It's been a long, hard, wet race. I said long, hard and wet. Anyway, Norris ending up as the winner. Verstappen gets second. Russell third. Senna fourth. Tsunoda hanging on to fifth. Hakkinen sixth. Decent comeback for the McLarens in sixth and eighth. Alonso is 7th, Piastri 8th, Antonelli gets 9th, which is us, and Jack Doohan just stopping it being double points for us in 10th. It's slightly annoying. I do feel like we could have had 2 cars in the points there, but what can you do? Verstappen's championship gap still pretty healthy at this stage. Still looking like nobody's really going to touch it. Lando starting to mount an attack though, so I don't know. He could surprise us here as the races go on. Could we see a bit of a fight between these two? Russell is 3rd, Tsunoda 4th, Hakkinen and Senna 5th and 6th, with Piastri and Leclerc 7th and 8th, Alonso and Antonelli rounding out the top 10. It's disappointing for Leclerc, isn't it? But it's last couple of races have been equally disappointing for us. Hopefully stronger coming in Silverstone. Thank you for watching this installment of Career Mode. Please don't forget to leave a like and hit subscribe if you're new here and you want to see more content from me. Until the next time, I have been Joe, TTFN. Ta-ta for now, take care and enjoy the rest of your day.